The UAE is building at breakneck speed. Raw ambition and deep capital are flowing into the region. But in a market this aggressive, money alone no longer guarantees corporate survival. The modern enterprise often suffers from a severe disconnect. A board approves a clinical, highly logical strategic plan, but the marketing output delivered by external creative teams feels entirely detached from those core business goals. This creates the execution vacuum. It's the dangerous middle ground where brilliant business models fail simply because fragmented, uncoordinated vendors drop the ball between strategy and execution. MANGMARK is built specifically to bridge this gap. It functions as a unified ecosystem that fuses intelligent business management directly with premium creative activation under one roof. Achieving scalable growth in this environment requires a unified ecosystem that integrates creative output with hard data. We start at the foundation. Before a single logo is drawn or a campaign is launched, every decision has to be driven by hard data. Instinct is simply too expensive. This market research breakdown shows the starting point. To map the competitive terrain, we extract precise consumer insights and run rigorous competitive analysis. Identifying larger market trends and running targeted focus groups systematically eliminates the early-stage risk that derails most new ventures. Without this rigid data foundation holding the structure up, any subsequent branding or creative production is essentially a blind financial gamble. Once the numbers are locked, that raw data must be translated into a compelling corporate personality. Looking at this branding framework, the progression is strictly linear. The brand's strategy and positioning dictate the logo and visual messaging, ensuring the aesthetics serve the business model. This public relations overview highlights what happens next. Once an identity is built, it must be fiercely protected in the public sphere through proactive reputation management and crisis communication. A modern brand operates as a strategically engineered asset, built specifically to command authority and weather market volatility. With the identity fully engineered, the activation phase immediately deploys it into the real world with maximum velocity and impact. This content creation slide maps out the digital engine required to fuel that deployment, relying on a continuous, strategic feed of everything from copywriting to podcast production. Highlighting this production and videography breakdown, we see how corporate messaging is translated into emotional, persuasive visual narratives that physically move audiences. This advertising matrix points directly to the mechanics of mass distribution, securing targeted campaign creative and placement to push the narrative at scale. This event management breakdown details how to ground that digital strategy into reality, balancing on-site coordination with virtual exhibitions to build tangible networking experiences. Activation requires a synchronized web. Content, production, and advertising must strike the market simultaneously to capture true attention. So, what is the measurable financial impact of executing this unified lifecycle? This timeline tracks the operational capacity required to successfully launch and manage over 20 distinct startups across the region. The financial stakes are significant, managing over 13 million dirhams in project value, while strategically generating 400,000 dirhams in targeted savings for those clients. These numbers prove that MANGMARK operates as a validated engine for measurable corporate wealth. Zooming out to the broader UAE business landscape, this is what the final growth phase of the enterprise journey actually looks like. A company scales successfully when its analytical foundation, premium identity, and market activation are managed as a single synchronized unit. Turning an ambitious idea into a market-leading enterprise requires a reliable blueprint. MANGMARK provides the engineering to build it.